the N100 Challenge Project. We are on day 2 of Halfway Jam 2016, and we are here with my good friends, the Mallrats band.
Yeah.
I say that because we interviewed them last year, and they were actually one of the very first bands to give us 15 minutes of their time and help us kickstart what is now the project that it's become. So thank you guys so much.
It's our pleasure.
Right?
Oh, it's fantastic.
And they did it last year with when it was performing with Hairball and Brainerd. So we kind of did a local fundraiser. Part of their money went towards helping local. But we're going to do follow-up this year. So our first year, we raised $35,000.
Nice. That's a big deal. Awesome.
Congratulations. This year, the goal is $500,000. Go big or go home.
Wow.
Right?
That's
So we're going far.
Yeah.
And if you remember, last year you helped to raise 1,000 meals just for giving me your time. We kind of changed it this year. It's now 1,500 meals.
All right.
So
whatever we can do to help.
Right? And you know, all of you know what the project's about. So to tell maybe the new followers for a project, you know, why it's so important to you and why you were so eager to, you know, obviously help us out and be part of this.
Well, it's kids that are hungry in our own communities goes unseen. That is just a fact. And I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, those people way over there. But no, it's these people right here that we're talking about. And those are the ones that hopefully we can help first through this project. And it's a big deal to us. We're all fathers. And to think of our own families in that situation is all the motivation we would need to do whatever we can. A little bit of time or a whole lot of time, but whatever it takes to help you with your cause, and hopefully you can get a bunch of meals in front of a bunch of kids.
Right? And yours, for whatever reason, I don't even know what happened, but last year, remember, we had kind of trouble getting yours posted, and I wanted to make sure this year that we got the message out. So if the backstory with you that we talked about before is still the same with helping kids that we talked about, I'd like you to tell the viewers for this one why it's really important to you as well. Everybody has their little...
Well, I'm closely tied to kids who are in situations that aren't ideal. My wife and I, over the last 6 years, have had, I think the number is 38 foster kids.
That's nice.
So that, in addition to, you know, our 4 kids, and then I'm a coach and I work in the school system. Yeah, I mean, we are pretty in touch with the troubles that kids can run into. From teens, we have a 18-year-old with us right now, to little babies who could never fend for themselves. So yeah, it's a big deal. So this is a no-brainer for me to sit down and talk to you. If it's going to help, then I'm in.
Yep. And you had a history too. We talked. You have, you know, there was reasons why it was so important for you. What was your backstory?
Well, in my daily job, unfortunately, this can't be our daily job.
What do you like that?
It would be awesome. Our wives probably would like that. But no, in my daily job, let's just say I do come in contact with underprivileged kids that are at risk, kids that are in a situation that, you know, as Mark said, is less than ideal, and it really it's difficult when I observe that, and you know, it tugs at your heartstrings. There's nothing that you can do at that moment.
Not for like the immediate, maybe long term.
The immediate moment, but it's projects like this that are you get to sidestep that roadblock and actually get involved and help. And you know, Mark brought up a great point. I believe in, and I put myself in this category. So many times we see the ads on TV, and it's like, yeah, some third world country across the ocean, right? And you know what? You walk down the street and you're walking by kids that are going without breakfast, going without lunch. They're hungry, and because the situation isn't ideal, or you know, the parenting isn't there, whatever the situation might be. So this is awesome. It brings it up close and personal, front and center, right here in our own backyard, because it is happening right here.
Yep. And so both of you know it, and obviously during the school year, a lot of kids did to take advantage of the free or reduced breakfast and lunch, and sometimes that's the only 2 meals they get. So when summer hits and they don't have that, and there's no school, it's sad that there's kids that are actually looking forward to going back to school just so they can eat. So summertime and the music festivals is the prime time to get the awareness out, because right now there's a lot of kids who aren't getting that meal that for those might be the only ones that get.
They look forward to going to school in the morning because
Which
they're
is
actually
really
gonna get,
sad that they look forward not for the education but just for
There's structure there, and we
Very
notice
true.
that we get less calls for foster care
what you're saying.
in the summer because there isn't that oversight of a teacher to be able to diagnose this kid needs help.
That doesn't necessarily mean that they don't need the help, right? They're just not getting.
Just no one's there to blow the whistle, if you will. And I'm sure Brady can speak to
That's what I
the
was gonna
school
ask.
year because he's the dean of students at the high school and middle school that he works
Yep.
at.
That's very
So
good.
he's one of the whistleblowers, if you will, one of the helpers on that end.
So what is your take? And I remember we talked about that too. So what is your view and take on from what you see from the aspect of?
Well, from an educational standpoint, and really that's kind of what our focus is if a kid comes in hungry, everything else takes a back seat. And so that's a very big red flag when kids, like you say, when they're coming in to eat breakfast, coming in to eat lunch, they'll stay in after school programs to get a snack.
I have heard that just so that they can say yes.
And again, because otherwise dinner's not coming. And it's great that there are things out there to help with this, because otherwise, like you say, there are kids, I'm not sure where they're going to eat. And it is, you can see the difference in kids that are actually eating every day. Things start to focus, grades come into play, they start looking better, attitude becomes better, behaviors become better. It's amazing. When kids start eating, it changes. And the biggest dynamic, and this is going to sound crazy, we used to take our kids on a week-long trip up to Wolf Ridge, they call it Environmental Learning Center.
Yep.
And for years they fed them sack lunches, and the kids would get squirrely and the kids would get owly. And then they put in like a food service place where they were actually getting good meals 3 times a day. And the guy that did it for 20 years said the minute they were actually eating right,
Like eating.
the behaviors, he goes, it was like a light switch. Boop.
Somebody
Suddenly
said
the
we should
behavior
do
stopped.
a project sometime. I don't know if it's actually been done, but somebody said, in one of my other videos, they're like, take, with parents' consent, which obviously it doesn't happen, but the point is, take and have the parents consent to having the kids go an entire day without eating, and look at the educational, like, look at the kids who, you're fed and how they do, and what happens when they don't eat. Take an adult and go an entire, skipping all 3 meals, and how crabby and angry you're going to get from skipping the meals.
the physical side, the emotional side, the cognitive side. When we're get busy in a day and we find ourselves we only ate a small breakfast and we skipped lunch, and pretty soon it's you get home late or something like that, and it's dinner time and you're like, I haven't eaten all day, and we can't hardly think about anything else. Let's think about a child.
Right, exactly. And I know I've said this story before in other interviews, but I'm sure you can all resonate with this one. There was a teacher that I interviewed who said, he had to tell this 3rd grader to, had clean out his desk towards the end of the year in May because it was starting to smell. Well, they would go down and get the free breakfast, and he was hoarding fruit, like saving fruit for the purpose of having the schools out. He's like, how do you tell a 3rd grader that the banana's not going to last? There was a smell coming, and they opened it, and he was like saving food, because he was saving it to take home. I mean, that should not be
Because
happening.
in the summer
That he wasn't gonna, So, but I know all 3 of you really understand what that's like, as far as the work we all do. So, so we really appreciate you giving us the time and continuing to help us raise awareness.
Absolutely.
We're gonna go.
Whenever you need us.
I know.
If there's anything we can post on our Facebook, do that and end up on our website. Yeah.
We'll probably do this interview for sure, because I know this one's going to be a lot bigger than the last year. Not that it wasn't, but we weren't really known. So I definitely want to get this one out there with you guys.
Awesome.
What were you looking for? You were here yesterday too. So what were you looking for to most for performing at Halfway Chamber, or listening to? Were you?
For me, a lot of these bands, it's a 90s vibe this year. The whole lineup is all 90s. So being I graduated in 1996. So
97.
This is the stuff that, this is what we grew up to.
Yeah.
And so every single band here, I know, a handful of their songs, and there's been no one who's underperformed at this point. Like, everyone is who, at this point, we thought they were. It's really cool. And looking forward to the rest of the night. I don't know if you can hear this on the camera behind us, but that's Everclear playing right now. We just walked off stage. and after Everclear is Sugar Ray, and then it's Seether.
We just did an interview with Art.
Right,
Yeah,
just
it was, yeah.
sweet lineup. Just grateful to be a part of it, and also grateful to be able to help out any way we can.
We appreciate that. And I know time is valuable for everybody here. Although I wish I could keep talking to them forever because they are so helpful. But you know how the interview works, and we're gonna see how it goes at the end here. But you guys get to nominate 3 bands or 3 artists, anybody in the industry, to keep the project rolling, which has been very successful so far. So think of who you guys want to nominate. Maybe one for each.
I have a very easy one. My brother Greg is the lead singer of the Gregory James Band. They're a country band based out of their homeland is kind of St. Cloud, Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. So Gregory James Band, you're on the hook.
And I believe he's going to. So there's one nomination already down. We got 2 more to go.
I'm going to nominate a gentleman that was just walking by here. And he's here tonight. And you can hook up with him. His name is Jeff Schreiner from the band Sweet Siren.
I don't think we got to Siren yet, so there we go. That'll be a good
Great
one.
people.
All right.
Yes. I will point him out and I'll get you in
All right.
contact with him.
That'd be great. So there's 2 more, so that's another, 2,000 meals.
Awesome.
And I'm going to elect a guy who's actually standing on the other side of the stage from us tonight, who goes to about 100 festivals, and he plays drums in a band called the Carpet Reds. I think they've eliminated their name to the Rems.
Just to the rest.
And and they are a local band out of the Mille Lacs Lake area, and he will definitely. I wouldn't interview him right now. He would be
Well,
a really
we'll
good
do
interview.
that,
He's on day 2, so
Yeah.
but he'll be a great interview in a week. So.
All right. Well,
But give him a week.
Give him a week.
we'll give him
a
some
week.
time to connect with him, but yeah.
Actually, if you interview him now, you can probably get a donation from him.
He'd probably, yep.
Yeah.
Well, that would be good because we're a little, we never ask you, obviously, we don't ask you, but some bands do, if they want to, that's great. We are a little behind on our money-wise for it, but we're working on it, so the equivalent of how many interviews I've done versus how much is in is a little off, but we're getting there.
Keep
so.
fighting the good fight.
Of course.
That's
So,
awesome.
you guys, if you haven't checked out Mallrats, because I didn't know them until last year, they are amazing. If you really need to check out their work, I will link up with them on social media. Take a listen. They're a cool group of guys that I am forever grateful to. So, this is wrapping up our interview with Mallrats Band, and this is day 2 at Halfway Jam. And just keep following us for some other big announcements that we have coming up. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Peace.